Welcome to another episode of Bite Size Titans, a Bite Size Sports Network production. I am your host, James Schmeitz. As you can see by my tag right there, that one, I still believe, but it was a rough week one. Titans lose 16-15, disappointing loss. Defense played good enough to win. Offensively, couldn't score a single touchdown. That one hurt a lot like the Giants game last year. Titans had every opportunity to win it and couldn't get it done. I'm going to touch base shortly on the fumble that never was, and that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm going to get it out of the way. The NFL has to get this play figured out. Titans strip sack Derek Carr, bounced on the ground, landed in Kevin Byard's hand. He went 90 yards to the house for a touchdown. Refs blow their whistle. Play is dead. They review it. Can't overturn it. Not enough evidence on the field. It's a 10-point swing. They kick a field goal. Titans had scored a touchdown. It would have been the only touchdown they'd have scored all game if it would have counted. It's a 10-point swing in a game where the Tennessee Titans lose by one. The NFL's got to get this figured out. The refs can't blow their whistle. They can never blow their whistle there. Let the play go. It happened in a later game. I can't remember which one it was. It's the exact same play. They don't blow the whistle. It's given to the defense. It's a fumble. It's 100% a fumble. There's a former ref on Twitter talking about it, a couple-minute video detailing it. It's absolutely a fumble. It should have been a touchdown. It cost Tennessee the game. They can't blow their whistle there. They cannot. They have got to get this figured out. It's not that hard. Don't blow your whistle. End of story. Do not blow the whistle, because then you can go. If you don't blow the whistle, it plays out, and then you come back and it looks like it is a pass, it's an incomplete pass. You change it. However, when they blew the whistle, it has to be conclusive evidence. Obviously, the play, it's never conclusive or inconclusive. It's a mess. Like, it's been a mess for years. The Tuck rule, the Brady Tuck rule, it's been a mess forever. They've got to get this figured out. But because they blew the whistle, they were never going to change it. They doubled down on their screw up. There wasn't conclusive evidence on the field, obviously. And Titans, ultimately, you can't say it cost them the game, but it did. Titans couldn't score a touchdown. They lose by one. It's a 10-point swing. It cost Tennessee the game. So I'm done with it. I'm not going to bring it up again, but it's an absolute joke. The NFL keeps blowing this rule. It's the same rule that the last game of the season last year when Josh Dobbs gets hit and we lose the game because of it, because they did call it a fumble. Now, worked out. We got Peter Skoronski, but this has to be figured out. The NFL's got to get this rule figured out. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. You can show 25 of these plays. Everyone's called different. Just depend on if they blew their whistle on the field or not. So I'm done with it. It's over. I'm moving on past it. Offensive review. Tannehill has his worst game ever as a Tennessee Titan. I think it's worse. It absolutely is worse than the playoff game against the Bengals. Very similar, but it's just as bad. Horrific game. 16-34, 198 yards, zero touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The offense was goofy. I'll talk about it more, but he was trying to force feed D-Hop, who had Marshawn Lattimore on him a ton, who I talked about plenty in the preview. It didn't seem to be on the same page. He was overthrowing him, throwing to the wrong spots, forcing it to him for interceptions. He was awful. Tannehill was awful, and I'm the biggest Tannehill believer. I'm not going to back down from him. I stood by him all off season. I'm going to keep doing it, but man, that was ugly. Cost us his play cost us the game. Plain and simple. 3 interceptions in a game where you lose by 1. Cost Tennessee the game. He missed Chig on a double reverse touchdown pass. He overthrew him for almost 10 yards. It was a play he's made a million times. He made that throw a million times. It was a touchdown. Again, make that play, the Titans win. There was another terrible pass to Tajay Spears out of the backfield on the left side. Tajay has to turn around, try to catch it. I don't remember if he caught it or not, but if he throws it in stride and he catches it, he goes, it's a touchdown. So 2 huge misses. He has chances. He was overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys, force feeding D-Hop, threw the pick deep to Chris Moore that was not there. It's just an overall awful day for Tannehill. Awful, like his worst ever. I'm not going to quit on him. I expect a bounce back game next week. He acknowledged it after the game. He cost Tennessee the game. Point blank, end of story. Titans lost because of Ryan Tannehill. I love the guy, but he did. It's plain and simple. They lost this game because of Ryan Tannehill. There's been a lot of talk about his physical decline after this game. He's been injured a lot the last few years. Didn't have his usual mobility. And then he underthrew a ton of passes. So it's definitely, it looked like he's lost a little bit. Maybe it's rust. He played one preseason series and it was for 3 snaps. He didn't throw the ball. I'm not going to say it yet, but man, it kind of looked like it. I hope not, but you just don't know. And then, like I said, I'm not off the Tannehill bandwagon. I was his biggest supporter this offseason. I'm not going to jump off now, but he's got a lot of work to do to make up for that one, man. A lot of work now. A lot of quarterbacks in week 1 had bad games. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, horrific games. So I'm not giving up on him. Obviously, he's not on the level of those 2 guys, but he's got a lot of work to do. Offensive line review, hit or miss. It was good and bad. They gave up 3 sacks. I forgot to write all my I forgot to put my notes down on this one, so I'm kind of going blind. Sorry, folks. But 3 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Running game, they had success running the ball. They just didn't run it very much. Derrick Henry, 15 carries for 63 yards. Tajay Spears, 3 for 27. They just got away. They got away from what makes the Titans, and that's how we talk about we need more offensive balance. But force feeding Derrick Henry, like give him the ball. In the preview we talked about it, the Saints have an elite pass defense, showed, and a terrible run defense, and we saw it, but you didn't get a chance to see it. We didn't just slam it down their throat. Derrick Henry had some big plays, long of 18 yards running. He had the 46-yard screen pass. So offensive line, it just was okay. I think Skoronski was our highest rated offensive lineman, which is great. It's an awesome pick. He's great. I thought Dillard struggled a lot on the left side. I did see somewhere, I can't believe I didn't write this down. I'm sorry about that, but I think it was PFF had the Titans guard duo of Skoronski and Dylan Brunskill is the 5th best in the NFL, if I remember that right. So kind of all over the place, not as bad as I expected, which is great. Not great. Now the Saints they have a big time defensive line from a pass rush standpoint. So just it's all over the place. Still a big question mark. Just Chris Hubbard on the right side. Got a lot of help from Chig chipping off, but he got a pretty good review. So good and bad. I just hope to see some continued improvement. Tannehill held onto the ball a lot longer than he needed to, and a lot of times, and that hurt them a lot. That put them in a lot of pressure. So mixed reviews on the offensive line. Still have some hope going forward, but again, offensively, Tannehill specific was the main culprit, but we let him get away. We let this one get away. There's some weird offensive snap counts on offense that I've got to talk about. Tajay Spears outsnaps Derrick Henry 34-30. I mentioned Derrick Henry had 15 carries for 63 yards, 2 catches for 56. Spears had a 17-yard run, could have had a huge touchdown pass. I like how explosive Spears is. I like they're trying to get him involved. However, Derrick Henry is the heart and soul of this team, especially on Sunday when we were having success running the ball. They needed to do it more. When Tannehill's struggling, they need to turn around and hand it to the king. He needs to get the ball. He needs to get the rock. I don't know if he needs it 25, 30 times a game. Like years past, we have more offensive playmakers, but he needs to get the ball, plain and simple. He needs to get it. And then this one, I didn't realize this one until after the game, but Nick Westbrook-Ikhine outsnapped DeAndre Hopkins 51-49. Like, get the F out of here, man. Like, what is the staff's infatuation with Westbrook? He signed a minimum deal. We bring in D-Hop, the contract to get him in to help the receiving core that was a joke last year. And Westbrook-Ikhine was a 2. He had his chance, and he outsnaps him? Come on, man. Like, that can't happen. D-Hop needs to be out there. And I will give Nick Westbrook-Ikhine credit. He had 4 catches for 58 yards. He played solid. Like, he was one of the few people Tannehill consistently hit, didn't underthrow, overthrow, but D-Hop needs to be on the field, plain and simple. D-Hop needs to be out there more than Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. No questions asked. So, weird snap counts. Force feeding D-Hop went wrong. The offense looked like it was meant to force feed him, and he had Marshawn Lattimore on him a lot. resulted in 2 of Tannehill's 3 picks. D-Hop had 7 receptions for 65 yards, so he had a decent stat line, but Tannehill consistently missed him, threw the interceptions to him, or threw 2 of his 3 picks while throwing to him. Can't force feed him, can't stare him down. And some of that then attributes to my next one, like, where was Treylon Burks and Chig? They were nowhere to be found. Burks had 2 catches for 18 yards. He dropped a huge second down pass in the second half that would have made it a 3rd and short. Hit him right in the hands. I think it was hands, chest, ground. It was a bad drop. He had a bad, he was open on some passes where Tannehill this, and I don't want, from a numbers perspective, he had a bad game. And Chig had 0 catches. Tannehill, like I said, did miss him on the huge double reverse pass that would have been a touchdown. Seems like everything I've read made it out to sound like he was chipping off a lot, giving Hubbard a lot of help. So there's that. So I'm not calling him out yet, but the second-year jump that I predicted, and everybody was predicting for these guys, did not happen. 2 catches for 18 yards between them, drop. Really disappointing offensive effort for the Titans. Those 2 don't do anything. Tannehill throws 3 picks. D-Hop, 7 receptions for 65 yards. If he does that all year, he will go over 1,000 yards, and he will be better than any receiver we had last year. But we are expecting major jumps for those 2. And then Tim Kelly's first game as offensive coordinator, good and bad. Only 285 yards on offense, which is bad. 181 passing, 104 rushing. He talked about being more offensively, more balance on offense, but just hard to look at those stats and realize, like, why are we not for getting Derrick Henry the ball more? He had some trick plays in there. The play calling I thought was decent at times. Pass rush got to Tannehill a little bit. He was holding on to the ball too long. He was force feeding D-Hop, so it was kind of a mess. Looked like we're trying to figure some stuff out. Maybe Tannehill should have played in preseason. Kind of looks that way. We can't force D-Hop. He can't force it to D-Hop. We need to make sure, get Derrick Henry the ball, get it to the open guys. He missed Chig on the big one, misses Spears. There's a play where Burks is wide open on the left side of the field. Probably would have been a touchdown. I think it was actually the play he threw an interception to D-Hop, where one of those, D-Hop ran the wrong route, so they weren't completely on the same page. I think he expected D-Hop to make a comeback. He was running down the field a go route, and he threw it to the comeback and was picked. It was a dumb pass regardless, but it was the wrong route. So offensively, Tennessee just disappointing. 3 turnovers, not even 300 yards of offense, no touchdowns. Goose egg for touchdowns. So that one hurts. This offensively just not good. Defensively, front 7 is elite. They are exactly what I said they were going to be, like I thought they were. 4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. Danico Autry, 1.5 sacks. Arden Key, 1.5 sacks. Jeff Simmons, 1 sack. They only gave up 69 yards rushing. Defense, like rushing, they're going to stop the run again this year. We're going to need it this week. Austin Eckler had 100 and some yards, and their backup had over 70. I think he had 71 maybe. Can't think of his name off the top of my head for the Chargers, but they had a big time offensive. They were rushing the ball last week. They were really, really good in a loss to the Dolphins. I do want to pull up a graphic here. Arden Key, the preseason was no joke. The training camp stuff was no joke. He was as good as advertised. I want to pull this graphic up here and show it to you guys. Arden Key generated a league high 11 pressures in his Titans debut. I need to get this fixed because that's not how we want to look at that. And let's add that to stage. There we go. Sorry, folks. Arden Key generated a league high 11 pressures in his Titans debut, 4 more than any other player league-wide in week 1. Signed him this offseason after he had 9 pressures against us in week 18. So that's some pretty big names there. Hassan Reddick, Micah Parsons. That's since week 14 of last year. Arden Key is as good as advertised. It's a great signing. He's awesome. I love the dude. He's fantastic. Very, very happy to have him on this team. He had a great debut in week 1. Now let's see if I can flip this back. There we go. To what I wanted it. All right. So he was great. Harold Landry's return was mixed reviews. Played 80% or 88% of the snaps, 57 of them. Probably should have eased him back a little bit more, but they felt fine doing it. Rashard Weaver only played 9 snaps. I think Rashard probably should have played a little bit more to give him a little breathing room. He finished, let's get his stats pulled up. I don't think he did. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 tackles. That's kind of fun picks, but it's pretty fun. Harold Landry only had 1 tackle, so a little bit of a mixed bag coming back. Good to see him back on the field. Probably should have eased him into it, but he'll get better as he gets his legs back under him. I'm not worried about him at all. Passing defense. Bad news Bears. Bad news Bears. Derrick Henry goes 23 of 33 for 305 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Great to see Amani Hooker back. He was stellar. I guess he got 2 turnaround. I haven't seen his PFF grade, but he had the strip returner, I guess is the way to put it. Strip the returner for on the very first play of the game where Vrabel challenged it. We get the ball, don't score a touchdown, which should have known what was coming. And then he also had an interception to Derek Carr. So Amani Hooker was good, gets hurt. We'll talk about it later. But the passing defense as a whole was bad. 305 yards given up. Fulton was burned late, also got hurt, hamstring issue, another soft tissue issue with him, but he gets burned late on the 3rd down. That if Tennessee would have got to stop, we would have got the ball back and had a chance to drive, kick a field goal to win it. It was a bomb over his head. So defensively looks a lot like last year. Elite run defense, horrific pass defense. They got a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work on that back end. The cornerbacks are struggling. And then Fulton missed a decent amount of the game with that hamstring injury, then came back. He was out for a while, then came back, which was weird, and then he gets burned. So, just defensively, I believe in our defense, man. They gave up 1 touchdown. They only gave up 16 points. Titans were up at half. If Tennessee scores 1 touchdown, they don't have the defensive touchdown taken away, they win the game. So, I believe in the defense. I believe they're good. The passing defense has got to get better. We said that a lot last year, but the defensive front they're monsters. They are as good as advertised. Everything you'd expect them to be. I want to pull up here. I gotta end this one real quick. Share this tab instead, folks. Sorry, I don't have an editor. I'm doing this myself. Here we go. Add this to stage. So offensive, defensive stats after week 1. Offensively, 16th overall, middle of the pack. So kind of not as bad offensively as you expect, like it felt. 13th in rushing, needs to be higher. 18th in passing. So there's a lot of bad passing teams out there. 30th on 3rd down. We were 2 of 12. We were awful on 3rd down. So I don't think this will pop over perfect. Yeah. Where did I write that down? I think we were 2 of 12 on 3rd down. Yep, there it is. 2 of 12. Just yuck on 3rd down. 26th in points. We scored 15. That's a joke. That's a little horrifying, a little scary. Kind of reminds you of last year. Defensively, 25th. That's that stupid pass defense. Or 28th in pass defense. Hey, it's 4 up from last year, right? Improvement. 5th in rushing defense. 23rd and 3rd down, bad. 8th in points. So like it's a roller coaster there. Good, terrible. Good, terrible. Got to get more consistent on the back end and on 3rd down. You do that, Tennessee's got a chance defensively to be really good. But if we don't get those taken care of, we're going to be in trouble. That's just the reality of it. Because a team like the Chargers coming to town have more offensive weapons, better quarterback, 2 really good receivers. I don't know if they're better than Olave, but really good. So we got a lot of work ahead of us this week. So pass defense has got to get better. I haven't seen an injury report, so I don't know any updates on Fulton and Amani Hooker. But Fulton's hamstring flared up. He's got a history of soft tissue issues. I hope he plays. You just don't know with him. And then Amani Hooker gets a concussion. Probably out 2 games is my guess. He missed time with it last year. It sucks because he was having, from a turnover standpoint, really good game. And he missed time with it last year. So he missed a lot of time last year. So it's tough. 2 of our secondary guys we're really counting on to help improve this team both hurt already. So great start for the Titans in week 1. Special teams, give a shout out to Nick Folk, 5 for 5. It's great to see a kicker make field goals. He made one of 50, so that's awesome. Great. Good for him. He's the only person that scored on our team, so shout out Nick Folk. Appreciate it. Final thoughts. It's not all doom and gloom, even though this one hurt, guys. It's not all doom and gloom. If Tannehill doesn't have his worst game as Titan, we win. We might win by 10. We lost by 1. It's easy to jump ship. It's easy to get off. I get it to run. Like, just want Malik, want Will Levis. Like, nah. Tannehill's won a lot of games with us. He struggled. I get it. Let's give him his time. Give him a chance. Like, we got a big one this weekend. Chargers also lost. They're coming to Nashville. You beat them. You're 1-1. Got a lot of work to do this week to get better, but I still believe in him. I have. He's been the best regular season quarterback Tennessee's had in my lifetime since Steve McNair in my adult lifetime. So I'm not jumping ship just yet. I'm not ready to put Malik Willis in there. He'd be just as bad. And Will Levis needs time too. So I'm not jumping ship. Thing is, this isn't last year's team. It seems like elite defense, bad offense, but we have weapons offensively. You got Henry. Obviously, had him last year. We got him. You got Burks, Chig, D-Hop. Like, we've got weapons. Tannehill, again, if he isn't terrible, we're fine. Like, I still believe. So, don't jump ship, Titans fans. Don't jump ship just yet. Like I said, defensive front looks the part. We just need the secondary to catch up. And who knows how that's going to be this week. We could have 2 guys out. I assume Amani Hooker's out. I have no belief he'll play this week to concussion. I believe he's going to be out. Fulton, 50-50, who knows? I'd lean towards him probably being out. He's got a history of soft tissue issues. So my point, Titans fans, do not jump ship. Don't quit yet. Do not jump ship, okay? Don't quit on us. Don't quit on him, man. Don't quit on him yet. That defense is good. Short one this week, folks. Thank you for joining me on Bite Size Titans. You can catch me here again later this week. I will have the Chargers preview up. I'm actually going to the game on Sunday. Got a swing trip, going to a Jason Aldean concert Friday night, and then going to the game on Sunday. So it'll be my first time seeing them live in person this year. Hopefully we get the win with me there. You can also catch me live every Wednesday, 9 p.m. on Han Shot First on the Dweeb channel. It's our sister station, talking Star Wars. It's Ahsoka time right now. We're doing reactions to Ahsoka. It is actually 10 minutes after this episode 5 premiered, so I'm about to, once I get off here, I'm turning that on. So you can catch me there 9 p.m. every Wednesday, and then also every Thursday, 9 p.m. on The Bounce, the Bite Size Network's flagship NBA program. We had a great show last week, so please come and see us, guys. Also, catch all our other Bite Size content. We've got multiple NFL shows going. We got Vikings, Steelers, Colts, Bears, Titans. I think we all lost last week. Let's see. Vikings lost, Titans lost, Bears lost, Steelers lost. Yeah, so the curse of Bite Size is begun. 0-5 last week. So maybe one of us will get a win this week. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share this, support us, come watch us, come join us, hop in the comments on our live shows. I still believe, guys. I still believe. Don't quit on this team yet. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, as always, tighten up.